Hello and a very warm welcome to this weekend's Out and About. As you can see behind us here this week, we're at the Houses of Parliament where the Loomba Foundation are raising awareness of this year's International Widows' Day, a UN recognised event that highlights the challenges of widows all across India and the work that's been done to help combat them. So follow me as we head inside to find out more. Lord Loomba, it's very special to be here once again with you, marking yet another International Widows' Day. This is something we've covered for many years now, so just as a reminder to our viewers, just explain the significance behind the event.
The significance of the event is a very important one. Basically, there are more than 300 million widows in the world. They are invisible, they are forgotten, and nobody is doing anything for them. They need education, they need empowerment so that they can live a life of dignity and they can educate their children. We have been doing this for the last 26 years now. As you probably remember, we celebrated our 25th anniversary last year. And since then, as I know of now, International Widows' Day, which we are celebrating today, has become a mission around the world. And so much so, we are so pleased that the High Commissioner of India is coming to support us. The Government of India, Solicitor General is sending us a message, live message on a video. And there are so many other dignitaries who are attending the function. They believe also that this problem has been put under the cover, under the carpet for so long, and what we have done is miracle.
Shari, as always, it's a huge honour to have you with us here on the programme. Lovely to have you here at yet another International Widows' Day event. Just explain to our viewers about some of the incredible work that the Foundation have been doing over the last 25 plus years.
Absolutely, and I know ZTV have been with us all along the way, and I can remember way back in 1997 when I first got involved. I was interviewed by your father, and you have been such great supporters, helping to highlight both the cause of widows worldwide, because this is a worldwide issue, but also, of course, supporting the work that we do in India, in the wider Asia and Africa, supporting widows so that they can stand on their own 2 feet, they can feed and educate their children, and that they can feel that respect from the community which they deserve, because they didn't choose to be widows. This was some unfortunate thing that has happened to them, and they absolutely have so much to contribute to society. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and how wonderful it is to see this amazing room full of amazing people. I can hardly believe, Raj, that it's 18 years since I stood up here in the House of Lords to introduce the idea of International Widows' Day. 8 years earlier, Raj and Veena had launched the Loomba Foundation to tackle what seemed forever to be a hidden emergency of the plight of destitute widows, unable to look after themselves and their children. And I was there with my husband Tony, who'd been Prime Minister for just 6 months at that time, and was struck by something I'd not realised before, the reality that faced millions of widows and how important this cause was.
It's sad to say this, but widows are often seen as the forgotten members of our society. Moving forward, how can we ensure that that is no longer a thing?
Well, I think, first of all, this is partly a question of the identity of the widows as women, that they are, in fact, in their own right, persons who deserve respect, persons who can contribute not just as a wife, or in this case now a widow, but also or as a mother or a grandmother, but persons who have so much to be able to contribute to society with their wisdom, with their experience, with their skills and knowledge. And so the training that we do, helping widows find useful occupations, the support we give so that their children are not disadvantaged following the loss of their fathers, all of these things mean that widows and their children are not forgotten and indeed can contribute in the way that they absolutely want to and can do if they got the right support. So as you can see, we often recognise people who have been helpful to our cause and have contributed so much to our work. And tonight I'm going to present 3 tokens to 3 very special people. So firstly, to Mr Vicky Raju. And now to Trisha Hazelwood. And last but by no means least, to Mr Deepak Dwajan.
Hojiv, you've worked very closely with the foundation for many years now. Just tell us a bit more about the work that's been happening of late.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a fantastic 17 years that I've been a trustee of the foundation, both in the US and India. We do some amazing work thanks to Lord Loomba's vision for widows and what we can do to empower them. We got the recognition from the United Nations, been put into the Sustainable Development Goals, and there's a lot of work yet to be done, given that there are 265 million widows around the world, and if you multiply that with the family members, it's nearly over 1 billion people and 1/7 of the world's population. So our work is cut out, but under his guidance and leadership, we will do our best.
Lord Loomba, as always, a pleasure to be part of this really important and path-breaking initiative that you've started as much as, at least as far as I'm aware, from the India connection from 1999. And of course, all your hard work over these years that is well recognized by everybody who's spoken so far. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor to be here and to be part of this commemoration of International Widows' Day, an initiative that Lord Loomba piloted with great perseverance and determination, and I'd say single-mindedness. And in that, of course, the assistance of Lady Blair has been remarkable and I think well celebrated, including, as her husband, former Prime Minister Tony Blair, mentioned, it would have been easier for everybody to have just said yes to start with. I think there are, of course, an important set of things that one needs to consider when one looks at this issue. As the Solicitor General mentioned, it took a considerable amount of campaigning and legislative effort to be able to put forward laws that started righting some of the very egregious wrongs that widowed women suffered in India. And of course, he correctly says that this is not just an India phenomenon or indeed a South Asia phenomenon, but it has been, for the longest part, a global phenomenon. The criticality of our effort needs to be to understand not just the importance of mobilization of attention, mobilization of resources, but collective action. And collective action is where I believe our partnership with the UK leads us in solving these problems. Not just in India, not just in the UK, but worldwide. So thank you again, Lord Loomba. Thank you, the Loomba Foundation, for all of this wonderful effort that has gone into this. Thank you, each one of you, for your attention and commitment to make this problem something that we should soon only read about in history books. And thank you, of course, Lady Blair, for everything that you've done in support of the Loomba Foundation. Thank you, and have a good evening.
आज बात बात पे आप क्यों संभलने लगे थर थराए होंठ क्यों अश्क क्यों मचलने लगे लिपटे गेसू खुलने लगे लिपटे गेसू खुलने लगे हम और तुम और ये समा क्या नशा नशा सा है बोलिए न बोलिए सब सुना सुना सा है हम और तुम.
Time for a short break, but there's more still to come from the event, so we'll see you again in part 2. Welcome back to Out and About. Today we're at the House of Lords for coverage of this year's International Widows' Day.
Lord Loomba and Veena and all the family are truly wonderful, special people. They have enormous, generous hearts. We are so fortunate to count all of them as amongst our dearest friends. For the Hinduja family, it has been our honor and privilege to have been a supporter of the Loomba Foundation since it was established over 25 years ago. International Widows' Day was Raj's brainchild and initiative in memory of his dear mother, Srimati Pushpavati Loomba, who was widowed at young age and had to bring up a young family on her own with few resources. I would like to add that even in our family, my late elder brother died at a very young age, and his wife was young, but my late father gave her the full equality and the strength to act as a man. And she played a very important role in our Hinduja healthcare, Hinduja hospital, which is today #1 in the western region of India.
Lord Bilimoria, always great to have you with us here on the programme. An incredibly important event. What does it mean for you to be here tonight?
To me, being here in the Houses of Parliament, in the House of Lords, on the 23rd of June, International Widows' Day, is very, very special. Because it is thanks to Raj Loomba, Lord Loomba, my colleague on the Crossbench of the House of Lords, that this day even exists. It is an official United Nations Day to actually commemorate, celebrate, and inspire the wonderful, wonderful work that is being done to help widows around the world. And no one paid attention to widows around the world until Raj Loomba founded this charity, the Loomba Foundation, in memory of his mother, Srimati Pushpavati Loomba. And this particular day is thanks to him. And I've been proud to have been chair of the advisory council from day one, because when Tony Blair and Cherie Blair launched the Loomba Foundation soon after Tony Blair became Prime Minister in 1997, I remember I went up to Raj Loomba. I didn't know him at all, and I said, "What a wonderful thing you're doing, can I help?" And here I am over 25 years later, and I'm privileged to be in this position. And he's done wonderful work, not just for the widows, but for their families, for their children who've been educated, starting with India and now around the world.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, it is a special pleasure for me to welcome you this evening to the House of Lords to commemorate International Widows' Day. As you heard from Cherie Blair, it is the 19th time we have done so since launching the initiative here at the House of Lords in 2005. and the 13th under the banner of the United Nations. I'm particularly pleased to welcome our chief guest, Mr Tushar Mehta, the Honorable Solicitor General of India. You may have noticed that Mr. Mehta is not actually with us in this room. Government business has meant he has had to change his plans, but he will be, or as you have seen, he has joined us tonight through video, which I very much appreciate, and I think it's a big support for the Loomba Foundation. The support of the Government of India has been crucial to our work right from the beginning, and I'm delighted that it continues today, placing India in the forefront, tackling the plight of widows with both legal and social reforms. It is my pleasure too to welcome our guest of honor, High Commissioner, Shri Vikram Doraiswami. Your Excellency, it was one of your illustrious predecessor, the late Dr. Lakshmi Singhvi, who advised us on establishing the charity and who later, for many years, served as chair of our Board of Trustees in India. Then, as now, the High Commissioner was a linchpin in the relationship between the Government of India, the Indian diaspora in the UK, and the British government, a relationship that has always been central to the progress we have been able to make.
I've been associated with Lord Loomba from the day one, and I treat him like a fatherly figure. I've been supporting the organization from day one, and what he's doing is we are really proud of not only him and his whole family, because they are dedicated, passionate, and supporting the good cause of widows, which I really support and my family support as well. And I have personally seen his work. I have seen the widow, their children, how they get benefited, and this is the really need. If you educate someone, you made their life. So I think the work he's doing, it is like the route directly to heaven. So I really support that, admire it, and thank you.
आने से उसके आए बहार, जाने से उसके जाए बहार, बड़ी मस्तानी है मेरी महबूबा, मेरी जिंदगानी है मेरी महबूबा.
Bro, I'm surprised that nobody thought about it. What a big problem in India the women has been facing. मैं आपको कैसे बताऊं कि वैधव्य जो है, विधवापन जो है, वो महिला को दी जाने वाली एक ऐसी सज़ा है जिसमें उसका कोई कसूर नहीं, कोई हाथ नहीं. प्रकृति ने, ईश्वर ने अगर उसके पति को उससे छीन लिया है, उसका सारा का सारा दोष उसके ऊपर. और जैसे ही उसके पति की डेथ होती है, उसके माथे की बिंदियाँ पोंछ दी जाती है, सिंदूर मिटा दिया जाता है और कहा जाता है कि सफ़ेद कपड़े धारण करो. ऑल कॉस्मेटिक्स, ऑर्नामेंट्स, ज्वेलरी शी इज़ नॉट अलाउड टू वियर. नॉट ओनली दैट, शी इज़ केप्ट out of the family functions, celebrations, and that was a very big punishment for her. अब किसी का ध्यान नहीं गया. एक समय था जब वो सती प्रथा शुरू हुई थी, पर वो बिकॉज ऑफ देयर वर इन्वेजन्स, को ऐसे दुराचारियों के द्वारा उसके भय से वो होती थी. लेकिन वरना राम की माता जी तो सती नहीं हुई. जिनके राम लक्ष्मण जैसे बेटे हों, एक सुंदर समाज हो, तो ऐसे समाज में एक विधवा महिला का जीवन तो बड़ा स्वस्थ और प्रसन्नचित होना चाहिए.
तूने किया जो शिकवा हम वो गिला कर ना सके, हम बेवफा हरगिज़ न थे, पर हम वफा कर ना सके.
Viewers, of this program, you'll be happy to know that normally people ignore widows and orphans. Raj Loomba and his wife, 25 years ago, 26 years ago, started an initiative called Lord Loomba Foundation. They're doing amazing work with the help of the wife of Tony Blair, Sherry, and everybody. Loomba Foundation is worldwide in India, Africa, UK, and I'm very sure that there is nobody without mother. And what Raj Loomba has done for mothers of this world is amazing. Have a good evening. It's going to do fantastic work. Carry on, Raj Loomba. Thank you very much. Bye.
आवारा हूँ या गर्दिश में हूँ आसमान का तारा हूँ आवारा हूँ या गर्दिश में हूँ आसमान का तारा हूँ आवारा हूँ।
देखिए एज एन आर्टिस्ट हर आर्टिस्ट को कुछ ना कुछ कम्युनिटी को वापस देना चाहिए। तो इंटरनेशनल विडोज़ डे जब भी मनाया जाता है तो कोई भी आर्टिस्ट हो उसमें उसका दिल करता है कि वो परफॉर्म करे और एंड परफॉर्मेंस ऐसी हो जो दिल से हो। तो आज लुम्बा जी की वजह से, राज लुम्बा जी की वजह से हमें भी मौका मिला कि हम इसमें कुछ ना कुछ एक हिस्सा डाल सके। उम्मीद करता हूँ कि सबने पसंद किया होगा।
Hi, we thoroughly enjoyed today's event because we believe in to support the Loomba Foundation Trust, and we are very, very grateful that we got the chance to perform for them in the biggest event.
Well, our heartfelt thanks to Lord Loomba and the entire team at the Loomba Foundation for all of the incredible work that they continue to do for widows all around the world. That's all we've got time for in this week's show here at the House of Lords, but we'll be back on your screens again next weekend. So until then, viewers, take care. Bye-bye.